Good evening, friends. Hello, Mansi, Kishore, Amrita, and Gauri. Thanks for joining me. Friends, I'd like to ask you why does every sad story in Bollywood read like the same script? Talented men and women who aspire to be actors, models, and start with so many hopes. They get films and ads and start shining. When they are later described as difficult people to manage, either because of alcohol or drugs, then articles are written about them to expose their weaknesses. Then they have relationship issues, scandals are exposed, and finally they are fixed. As in sudden disappearances from the scene, jail, or death. This is not a joke, friends. Every time I research about actors and models, I'm stuck in the same dilemma. And I ask myself, this can't be true. What's happening in Mumbai, where there is corruption at every corner? And this has been going on for ages. So, who do you trust? Do you trust the government, the judiciary, the police, the media, or your own colleagues? Today, we focus on a upcoming star who was certainly coming out with good movies, Shiny Ahuja, who had just started tasting the fruits of his success when he suddenly became embroiled in an alleged rape case and was imprisoned for this alleged crime. Born on May 15, 1973, Shiny Ahuja is the son of an army officer who attended several army schools and was good at outdoor games like football, volleyball, and cricket. Later, he was drawn to the theatre. When he joined a Delhi university, he entered the Drama Society and then later did engineering in RB College of Engineering in Bangalore. So far, this much reads very much like Sushant Singh Rajput, who was also an engineer who loved flying. Shiny also trained at the National School of Drama before modeling for several ads, including Pepsi, and doing music videos. He is married to Anupa. When Sudhir Mishra was looking for heroes for his next film, Shiny auditioned and he bagged the role in Hazaron Khwaishein Aisi. Then he went on to bag Mahesh Bhatt's Gangster and Wo Lambe with Kangana. Life in a Metro, Bhool Bhulaiya, Ek Accident, Harpal, Ghost. Later, he came in a horror movie, Ghost, in 2012, and 2015, Welcome Back, in which he had a cameo role. On June 15th, Shiny was arrested for raping his domestic help when they were alone at his residence in suburban Oshiwara a day before. His wife had gone to Delhi and was with his mother-in-law. This was the time when the girl said that she was raped. The girl, who was 17, said she was doing her chores when she climbed up to open a water valve. Shiny grasped her from behind. She said she suspected his intentions but was not sure. When she returned to work the next day, that was on June 14th, he called her. The other maid had gone to church. When she went to him, he was in his bedroom. She says he pulled her in and locked the door and told her to be silent. And then he raped her. When she started crying, he said he would kill her if she did not shut up. Later, she called her uncle, who advised her to approach the police. Remember, this was the maid's version, the first version. Next day, police arrested Shiny at 3 a.m. and was produced in court and remanded in a 3-day custody. He was booked under Section 376, which is rape, and Section 506, threat to kill, of the IPC Act. During what was even more sad was that his wife was watching all this on TV from Delhi, and she could not believe it, and she started crying. Then her mother-in-law told her, instead of crying, you should be going out to get him out, because I trust my son and I know he is innocent. During the trial, this maid, the victim, withdrew on her testimony and told the court that she was never raped. That's the second version. However, the judge believed that the maid falsely testified under pressure. And thus, in 2011, Ahuja was sentenced to 7 years of prison. Meanwhile, his wife decided to come back and help him and prove his innocence. Her mother-in-law's advice gave her strength, and she said She trusted Shiny and felt he was being framed by someone. Shiny was very clear about what happened. He said, "It's a very well hatched conspiracy to malign my image and extort money from me. The victim's story of alleged rape is highly suspicious and doubtful, as no external injuries were found on her person," said Shiny in his bail petition before the Sessions Court. The court deferred the decision of Ahuja's petition till July 7th, after the police opposed it. His lawyer, Shrikant Shivade, sought time to reply to prosecution's arguments opposing the bail. Prosecutor R.V. Kinney argued that granting bail to Shiny at this stage might hamper the probe, as Shiny was influential and might tamper with witnesses or even intimidate the victim. He said the police had a strong case against the actor, the lawyer said, on the basis of DNA and medical reports. Until the charge sheet is filed, the actor should not be released on bail, he said. Ahuja said in the bail petition that he was an upcoming actor and movies in which he was cast were held up because he was in jail. This was causing hardship to producers, directors, and co-actors. Actor's wife Anupam had denied the rape charges against him, saying her husband was innocent and was being framed. However, Mumbai police said DNA and medical reports of the victim and Ahuja had corroborated allegations made in the FIR. Ahuja's judicial custody was extended till July 16th. He was lodged in the central prison at Arthur Road in central Mumbai. The chief minister at that time, Ashok Chavan, said he would get the case fast-tracked and give the victim rehabilitation. Here again, you see that politicians enter into the scene. When the court can do it, why do politicians enter the scene? And the Mumbai police said the accused Ahuja has great talent, but that did not make him a respectable person. If he is released on bail, then it would have a huge impact on society and women at large, as the offense committed by him is grave and heinous, was what the police said. He was granted bail a few months later, but the court ordered him to stay away from Mumbai while on bail, so he had to move to Delhi. In March, a special fast-track court pronounced Ahuja guilty, despite the fact that the 20-year-old victim withdrew her allegation of rape. She said she was told to complain to police by another woman who had got her job with the actor. All through this, his wife, Anupam, stood steadfast behind him. She gave a press conference reiterating that he was innocent and was being framed. She was accompanied by her neighbors and friends, and her decision to address a press conference seemed to have been prompted by reports of what she was said to have told the police during interrogation, and all this started getting aired on various TV channels. He said, "I'm telling you again, it's rubbish. Shiny is not a rapist. He's an innocent man. I'm not reacting as his wife, who has known him for years and who is madly in love with him. I also speak as a woman and as a mother of a daughter, and I can say that Shiny is not a rapist." His wife said she had known Shiny for 15 years and had full faith in her husband's innocence and insisted that he was being framed. Who could have framed him? She was asked, who is doing what and why is someone doing it? She said, "I can't say, but truth will come out. He's a celebrity. Maybe he is a soft target." In 2009, Mahesh Bhatt curiously came out with conflicting stands. In an interview with mainstream media, he said, "My interaction with him was very warm. He was very decent, well behaved, and he was someone you had fun with when he came to your place," and so on. "Nowhere could I imagine there was a dark side to him. We were stunned." Then, later, he said, I felt deep shame and then shock. I have a disconnect between the Shiny I worked with and laughed and cried, and the Shiny who erupted in the headlines last night and continues to haunt us even now." Mahesh said, if Shiny is found guilty, there should be no liberty granted to him just because he was a celebrity. His brother, Mukesh Bhatt, said, "I can't believe what I was hearing because the Shiny I knew when I was working in Gangster and Wo Lambe He did not even look like a guy who could do such a heinous crime. I'm speechless. This trial by media has to stop. It's as if he's already convicted. When the Bhatt brothers speak like this, it reminds me of how they spoke about Sushant as suicidal and bipolar, and how he would go the Parveen way, which was that he would commit suicide. The articles about later, the articles about his tantrums also came out. That when he was shooting for the movie Hijack in Mauritius, articles were written about how arrogant he had become. Superstardom had gone to his head, they said, that he demanded fruit juice every hour and Indian food in Mauritius, and that he wanted a bigger and better vanity van. Again, here we know that, see, so many blind articles were written about Sushant to malign him when we knew that Sushant was such a clean and disciplined person. But the people who stood with him vouched for Shiny's simple and down to earth nature. Anurag Kashyap, who had directed him in 2 films, said he was completely focused and dedicated, that he never misbehaved. Rohit Roy, a TV actor, also said he was very affable and down to earth and questioned this trial by media. What was strange was that when the girl had said she was not raped, then why was he sentenced? His wife said Mumbai police came and collected quilts from their master bedroom and other rooms. The DNA results said there was no blood or semen. And what was more strange was that the DNA samples were stored in a wooden desk, not in a cold storage, as it should be. Relying on circumstantial evidence, a fast-track court convicted Bollywood actor Shiny for raping his maid and sentenced him to 7 years, rigorous imprisonment, although the victim had turned hostile during the trial. The actor was also fined rupees 3,000 by Sessions Judge P.M. Chauhan. However, Ahuja was acquitted of the charges of criminal intimidation and wrongful confinement. Public prosecutor Kashinath Dige told reporters who were not allowed in the court as the proceedings were in camera. Convicting the accused, the court said it had considered circumstantial evidence. Now look at the contradiction here. They say the DNA report was positive. The hymen was torn. There were blood marks on victim's clothes. Semen was found on the quilt. Which quilt? The old quilt. And curtains. And Shiny's hand bore scratch marks of the victim, which was very strange considering what his wife had revealed earlier. And another fact that came out was that when Shiny was taken out of the police van with the police, he looked as though he had been beaten up and tortured. The court also noted that the 2009 incident had occurred at Shiny's house here. The victim's clothes were torn and there was evidence to show that the girl had struggled. It also accepted her statement before a magistrate alleging that she was raped, Dige said, the lawyer said. After the conviction, the judge asked Shiny what he had to say about the quantum of sentence. The actor pleaded for leniency, saying he had a family to look after and a career to pursue. The prosecution, however, sought life imprisonment or 10 years RI for the convict. The court then sentenced him to 7 years. Asked whether Shiny would appeal against his conviction, Shiny's lawyer, Shrikant Shivade, told reporters, yes, certainly. He said that the judge had relied upon the victim's statement that she had been raped and did not believe her evidence in court, denying the incident. The 38-year-old actor, who was then on bail, was accompanied by his wife, Anupam, in court. According to a policeman, there were tears in the eyes of the actor, Shiny, when the judge pronounced the order. In September the next year, the maid had backtracked from her allegations that Shiny had raped her at his residence in Mumbai and said the incident had never occurred. The 20-year-old girl told the court that she had filed the complaint against the actor at the behest of a woman who had secured a job at his residence. On September 3, the same year, the victim had identified Shiny in the court and said she used to work at his residence as a domestic help, but when asked about the incident, she said she was never raped. Following this, the court had declared her hostile. Shiny says jail life tested him. He turned spiritual. He was worried for his parents and his family. I've always seen my father as a strong man. He is my hero, an ex army officer who fought 3 wars for the country. He's always been on the front line of enemy fire. It was the first time in my life that I saw him vulnerable, weak, and broken. It almost killed me. This could have happened to me. This wouldn't have happened to me if I weren't a celebrity. Now I understand why celebrities guard their lives. I kept shouting at the top of my voice that I was innocent, but no one was listening. All that mattered was what was being fed by the media. Remember, media was writing fictitious stories about him. This experience has taught me a lot about life, he said. My connection with the divine became so strong that I had several wonderful experiences. I got a lot of time to pray and meditate. The president of Tarapur Towers near Lokanwale, the society where the Ahujas were living, also said that he knew Shiny for the last many years and had only seen him as a loving father who was often seen in the evenings taking his young daughter in a pram in the housing complex. He too said that there was no reason to doubt his integrity. If all this was true and is true, who has framed him? Was he seen as competition for other leading actors? Did he not, like Sushant, comply with the rules that the underworld play? Remember, at a point he was saying that he was also facing extortion. Was he too clean in the system that reeked of corruption? The last film where he did a cameo role was a flop too. Thus, a star was destroyed and his career cut short. His reputation spoiled. If he did not have a wife who stood with him, he would have been completely shattered. His last movie, as we said, Welcome Back, where he had a cameo role, went unnoticed. Thus, as we say, one more star was cut down to size. Perhaps in order to pamper the egos of some actor and ensure that the mission of some vested interest would not be broken. When every machinery in a state acts against you, even a saint can be proved to be a devil. What do you think happened, friends? When the victim had retracted her story, why was Shiny sentenced and his reputation and career destroyed? Thank you, friends. Please keep your comments coming. Good night.